Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
And for that AL name, and here, okay, this is what ended, department is ended. After that, we have to end the employee. This is what my employee JSON object. And if I just send my employee JSON object, see, we are getting ES2 not one created, and it is returning for Sumitra and all the details, but it is giving list of employees is empty. It is giving list of employees is empty. Let us just go and check in the database, is it available? So that is, let me just go here. It's 090 H2 console. Because we are using H2 database, and let us go to employee and run it here. If you see, yes, fourth employee is got added Sumitra and is pointing to the department number 101 and J code of 11. So it is inserted the new record for this employee. Okay, so the new record got inserted here now. So where we just go, and I will give it here the department which does not exist or the job code which does not exist, which is 19. Okay, so I'll give fifth record. Let me just change a name, and then I'm sending. So the J code is not present here. The job which is not present, I'm not handled this exception. So we are getting 500, which is internal server error. And what is the exception message which we are getting? So we are not getting any exception message here because it didn't say what is the exception message, because we have not handled any exception for this, right? So the job code which is not present, there is 19 job code is not present. That's why it's not done. But what I want to do it, whenever I'm inserting a employee, are you able to follow me?
Yeah, we are not doing any validation if the job code is existing or not, right? But does table take care of that validation?
Yeah. Because if that is not present, our table will give the our database will give the exception. You don't have any this because it will become a foreign key, right? It is a foreign key. So
Okay,
primary key not present, then foreign key will not be existing.
okay, okay.
Okay. So I want to make it. I can handle this in the multiple ways. One way is first location should be added, then I have to do this, right? So I have a location or job adding, we have not written a code. If it is related with a location or if it is with a job, I have to create a method for job and then I have to add it, right? I can go with a post and I can take a job. So first I have to add this job code, then only I can add it. Or if that is not present, I want to insert that record. When the employee is inserting, it should automatically insert the job also if does not exist, if does not exist. So how to do that? So for that, in the Hibernate we have some feature, like when you go to the error, it says here entity not found, which is unable to find the job with the ID 19. That's what our error is. Okay, so where I want to mention that for the employee, if the job is not present, it should insert automatically. Like, where is my employee entity? Yeah, the employee where I'm writing here, so we can mention the property. called cascade. Cascade equals cascade type. There is a cascade type annotation, sorry, cascade type enum dot all. So if I do cascade all, so please have a look. I just added one property which is called cascade all. And let me just go and stop my application which is running. After cascade all, what will happen? Just see. So now I just change the thing to cascade all. After that, I'm just sending here. Okay, you can see when I add the cascade all property, I'm able to add, it is giving 201 created for the location which, sorry, for the job which is not present, J code which 19 is not present, but it is able to add it. So just have a look here. Let us first see the job. You can see there is new job got added, which is 19 and the TA. And if you see here employee, employee fifth record also got added, which is to the job code of 19. So why it is added? Because we have written cascade all. Cascading means the cascading have a different types. Okay. So that is the what are all the different cascading types are there in the Hibernate. So that is if you go to here employee, for the cascade you have a different types. One is detached, that is will be having the life cycle of a Hibernate which is in the persistent mode and detaching mode. Persistence mode means the database is attached, so when the database is attached to Hibernate, that time you want to take in care, then it should be persist mode. If it is in the detached mode also the cascade should happen, then we go with the cascade type of detached. When you do some updation or the merging, then also it should do, then we go with the cascade merge. And we have a cascade remove when you do delete. If you delete the primary key, then all the foreign key records also should be deleted. For that we do cascade remove. If all the things you require, then we go with the cascade all. So it will do all the types of cascading. So if you remove the job table, if you remove the job, then automatically the employees also will be removed. Which all the employees are belongs to that, they'll also be removed. Just I'll show it to you now. So have a look now. So this much employees are all there. So if I just go and remove the number 19, like delete. Oh, I don't have a method to write delete the job. Let me just, if I just delete the location. Okay, I have a code for location. Let me just go for the location in the department. I will mention here many to one cascade type all. You just first see here how many number of employees are there. You have first 3 employees. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then after that, if you just see how many departments are there, you have 3 departments and 3 departments are belongs to 2 department 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 4. Okay, so let me just come here. I will delete 1, 2, 4 location.
We had Chaitra as well as the employee, right?
Yeah, Chaitra is also employee. That is not
But
added,
I
no,
think
because It is not there because we have just rerun our code, no? It is
Okay.
in memory database. It will be only present for that execution.
Okay. Okay. Then these data are for this particular execution.
Yes, this is for all because we have written here data.sql, no? Whenever you run your application, this data will be inserted.
Okay.
We are working on H2
Okay.
database, so
Okay.
it's in memory database. Only for this run it will be.
Okay.
So let me just add the employee which you said. Yeah, okay. For which location I'm adding? Yeah, for 1 to 4 location I will add it. Yeah, it's just got added. Let me just show it to you. Yeah. Now, for a 101, there are two people are there. So for a J code of 11, there are two. And for department number 101, there are 1 and 5. And for 102, there is one person. For 103, one person. Okay. This is what our data is present. Let me just go to department and run it. So 10123 for our L code 123. For the 123, we have a two locations. And for 124, we have one location. 124, which is one department is there. So for 124, which employee is present? Yeah. For 102. This right. So there is a person called Monisha. Monisha belongs to the department of 102. Okay. 102 is available in the location of 124. Now let me just go and delete 124. Delete location L124. Okay. It's given some error, which is admin LOC of 124. Why this 124 given error? What is the error? We'll just see. So you just go and have a look here now. Yeah. Delete from location where L code is. So it is giving SQL integrity constraint violation exception. That is the foreign key is present. Department foreign key references to public location of L124 statement. Because for the location 124, there are number of departments are present, and for that department, you have a number of employees also. One second.
We lost the audio, I think, so, Shweta.
No, no, yeah. Here, which is saying it cannot be deleted because it is saying integrity constraint violation exception. So for this particular location, you have a foreign key and you have a foreign key which is present. That's why you're not able to delete it. Are you clear with this?
Yeah, yeah, Shweta.
Yeah, first you have to delete the employees, then you have to delete the department, then you are able to delete the location because the it is all relationships are present now. Okay. And one more
We
thing is
had
here,
put
when I
cascade
go
all
for
right.
employees, yes, but it is you have to for a removal, you have to specifically mention for removing itself.
Okay, that cascade remove it will not take.
Yeah, yeah, you have to mention cascade all. So when you go here, so EID1, ename Sumatra and bonus, and then again J code. Again in the J code, it's taken a employees. So like this, it is going for this much data. It's continuous. But I want proper data for the employees. I don't want this. Again, the employee relation should not be present. So if you go here in our project, that is where you take in care here in our employees. In the job, we have mentioned one to many of list of employees, but I don't want this to be given by default. So what should I can write it? So I can make it here fetch type dot lazy. So I mentioned here fetch type lazy. So once the fetch type lazy is written, when we have written fetch type lazy, but still we are getting here the employees data, because lazy still asked it will, but you are asking now, you're asking the data, so that's why it's given. So this will not work out in this particular scenario, because we have to inform to the JSON, it should not take it for our JSON. This relationship should be present, but this relation should not be taken care for the JSON. For that, we'll write here JSON ignore. So after we write a JSON ignore, so when you now go here and run it, you're able to see now. So that is just put it as a pretty. So you're getting EID, E-name, date of joining, salary, bonus, J-code, J-name, and then for which belongs to what department. And in the department, we have a department number, department name, and location. And then we are getting here EID, E-name, date of joining, salary, and then department and this department. So we are getting actually what the data we are requested for. So we are not getting again in the job employees, again in the employees job, so that it will not go for an infinite loop or Stack Overflow, so that we can put a JSON ignore. So that will be not given for your JSON structure. Okay, this is what the relationships which you are working on. And as you are asking in the previous session, so for suppose if I want to go with some particular records to be taken care, like I will input my department number. I have a method which is public list of employees for a specific location. I want the employees for a specific location. So what we will write it, list employee find by, first let me just take it here in the employee, what data we have taken, job. Find by job. Guess J code is integer. I want to retrieve the employees for the specific job code, find by job. Okay, this is the method which I have written. So we don't have any implementation for this in the repository. So if I want to give what is the query, I want to write it so that we can go with the query annotation. Select star from employee where J code equals, for suppose if I want to get by name, string J name. I know only J name, but I want to get the values. Okay. So like in our query, we will write it. Select star from employee where J code equals to, or if it is multi-row subqueries means it will be in select J code from job where J name equals question mark, and we'll write it here. Is it a native query? Yes, true. Native query, which is true. So this is the query which I have written, and we are passing this J name for our question mark. So this is way we are writing here the inner queries. Like in previous session, as you asked the question, so I took this code. Okay. So this is the inner query. So that is first, let me, is my project is running? Yeah. So I will just first check is the query is proper or not. See, it is giving the employees who are belongs to only the job code, which is of 11. Okay, but I don't know job code. I know only J name. I'm passing my J name. Based on that J name, I'm retrieving. So that's what I have written inside of my code. So that is select start from employee where J code in select J code from job where J name is question mark. So we have written here the subquery. So where this will, it may give one record, it may give more than one. We are not sure. So that's why we have written a list of employee. So that you can write this method in your service. So find by job. So I'm returning here the J name. Then in my employee controller, written employee service dot show, that is find by job and the J name which we are passing. So it should read it from the path. To get it, we'll use it here, path variable. EMP name, so which is string here, EMP by job, EMP by job, and here what is the name which I'm passing? J name. Okay, that's what I have written here for this. So where I have written, yeah, find all by job. So if I pass the J name, then it should be retrieve this. So are you clear with this, guys? Are you clear with this inner query?
Yeah.
So that is in the employee repository. We have written our own query, whatever the query we want to write. So based on that query, what the results we are getting, that we are storing into list. and that we are getting here in our employee controller. So for this, we have written the map, which is employee by job and the J name. So which is TA. Let me just send it here. Admin, employee by job and TA. So that is, it is given here for the TA, who are all the people is there. One Sumitra and then two, the second person who is there for Monisha. And apart from this two, what are the other jobs which I have? Let me just see in the data SQL. Yeah, I have now BA. Instead of TA, if I send PA, for BA, who are all the people are there, that list will only given here. So that's what, how joins and subqueries will be taken care with here control means in the repository by using the JPA repository. Are you clear with this?
Problem.
All the three are good. Are you clear with the content which we have discussed today?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, what about Kavya? Yeah, Tangama.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Kavya? Chandra?
Hello?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's clear, Shweta.
Yes, Shweta.
Okay, okay. Okay. So that's where you can write whatever the queries you want to write it. So I just took one example with the relationship. So where employee, where J coded. All your requirements, you can keep it in your queries and get it here. So that is depends on the query tuning. You can go with you can go with subquery or you can go with the join queries. So based on that, it will be make SQL queries will be easy. So you can write, or we can go with the implementation also. Like if your approach is JDBC, then you already know how to do with the JDBC, right? So that way your DAO layer and your controller will be constructed here. So basically in the whenever you go with the REST controller, so that is we will be going with the how we are going to taking care of the media type. So depends on what job you are doing. So for suppose if you are doing uploading, downloading, or if you are doing some emailing, so based on that your media type will be changing here. So I have taken for all these things, the media type is application JSON value. So you have different media types to be taken care. So if you are going with URL encoded or header parameters, so actor set stream values, or you're going with some problem of a JSON or any RSS feeds you are taken, or you're going with some image or multi-part related values or some form data value. So all these different media types which you have it here, so or acted stream. So depends on what data which you're working on. So that particular consumes or produces the data type we will be mentioning here. So then according to our requirements, so either we can go with the get will be preferred always for the retrieval, and delete will use it for the deletion of a job. Then if you want to go with the insertion post and for update put, and for the only update we can go with the patch method. So all these methods which we will be taken care here. So apart from this, if you want to read some parameters for the header part, like how will you read the header part parameters? So with respect
to get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
we have a header param annotations with respect to the JAX RS. But how will you read it in the Spring request or in the Spring REST controllers? So to read the HTTP header parameters, so in the Spring REST controller, we have a annotation called request header. We have a annotation called request header that is to read your request parameter. So like for suppose here, let me just take one simple method. Here we are taking the return type of response entity, and I'm taking the return type as string, response entity string. Response entity, which I'm writing here the return type also, the return text also, some greeting, and which will take a HTTP status, so we can give what is the HTTP status we wanted. So I'm giving here HTTP status is okay, so that I have to read it here, response entity, and the return type is string, so I'm just taking here string. And what is the parameter which I want to read it? So that is either we can go with the request mapping or we can go with the get mapping. That always the thumb rule or the recommendation to go with request mapping. So I'm just showing with the another view also. Either you can go with the request mapping or the get mapping. So I just written here greeting. So I want to read some variable. So that is, I want to create one variable. So which read here the data from the header part, so that we can use here the annotation which is called request header. We have a request header that is to read the header parameter. So that is, there is a header parameter which is called accept language. So I'm just sending here accept language. So then I'm taking here string language. I will just send this language only to here. So this way we read the header parameters. For suppose here when you go with your Postman, you have a different header parameters. So where here header parameters. So you can configure any header parameters. What is the key you are providing? Like it may be authorization, it may be accept request, or what is the content type. All this header parameters, or you want to send the username, password. So all these header parameters can be read by using the request header, because we can't send it the username and password in the URL, so that we can provide it in the request header. Okay, so for to read it we are using here the request header. Where is my code? Sorry, employee controller. So I have taken here the response entity, which is a request header. So that is, let me just take it here, stop and execute it again. So this is the request header which I have taken, that is accept language. That is the URL is greet. I'm just writing here accept language, which is Java. It is written in the same Java. Okay. This way we can send the header parameters. So if you want to set any header parameters, so this way you can read it here. So that is here you have another type which is called query parameter also in the REST application or in the REST API. You can use query param so that you have a different type of parameters to read it. So which is like we have user request body, that is to read the body of a request, and you want to read the path, you are using path variable, and you want to use a header, then request header. So in the REST API, but without Spring, if you are working only with the REST API of Jersey, you will use it as a header param. We have a header param. So that's why here the different parameters will be used. So we have something called matrix param. So matrix params also will be available. So or you want to read the query parameters. So query parameters also can be used in the Spring Boot. So that is we have a query parameter, request parameter, or the path variable. So if you want to go with the query parameter, so we will use it here as a request param. And Spring, we will use it as a query param. So query param, so that we will be use it here. Okay. So depends on what type of parameters you want to send it, that data you will be read it here. So that is if you see here in the path variable, how will you send your data, which is http colon localhost. You are sending some parameter here, that is to read, will use a path variable. Okay. So if you want to give it as a body, so that you will use a request body. But if you are sending a parameter as a query, you want to accept it. So that query parameter will have a names. So that is you will take it here for this query parameter admin. So after that we'll pass a question mark and what is the data or ID equals 34. So if you are passing with this in this pattern, it is will be used with a query param or request param. If you are working with this, then it will be a path variable. So depends on which type of a data you are using or how your URL is configured. So that way you will be using the request parameter. So are you clear with this?
Yeah.
So these are all the different parameters which are available and we can work on it. So that is about the Spring REST application. I just tried to cover all the things that is in the DAO, how the in the repositories, how the relationships will be taken care with the JPA repositories, and how the exception handling will be handled, and how we can write your controllers. So in the next session, so we'll see how will we write the same Swagger UI for this. As you said, we can go with very less or just only overview of that. So in the next session, we will finish the Swagger and Teamleaf both. Okay. So is it okay with today's session?
Yeah.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.